Did it well.
Yeah. Also, Bill Kearns. We got the double billing going on here this morning. Gentlemen.
Can't go wrong that way.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And, Bill, where can you get those free radon test kits today?
Hey, you can get those at the Health Department in Martinsburg, 122 Waverly Court, or up at Berkeley Springs, 137 War Memorial Drive.
I understand that you got back some pretty high test results from the home show.
Yeah. Some of those, we look at trying to have those numbers come in at under 4, and we've had some numbers coming in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
What does that mean, Bill?
That just means a higher exposure to radon and to the particulates that come from the ground.
And I understand that, but is it it's carcinogenic? I understand.
It is.
Is there, how close a tie is it to an elevated reading in radon and the potential of getting cancer?
Oh, it's extremely high. And there's a comparison to how many X-rays it would equate to, and certainly when we do the home show and we get these test kits out at this time of year, most people still have their homes kind of closed up because it hasn't gotten warm yet, where they're open windows and doors and things of that nature. So the levels are a lot lower, or a lot higher now for those homes. So it's a concern because of being the second leading cause of lung cancer.
And if you have one at, say, 40 reading, 30, 40, what can the homeowner do?
Well, we recommend them to have it retested again in a couple months, and they can stop by and get those test kits from us. They'll be free at that point as well. Get it retested. Then if it still comes back high, then contact a mitigator, and we have a list of licensed mitigators for West Virginia.
Sure. Good information. Thank you, Mr. Kearns. Let's welcome in our next guest. He is the Superintendent of Schools in Berkeley County, Dr. Ryan Saxe. Good to see you, sir.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful to have you along for the ride today.
I think you've become the most photographed person in Berkeley County.
Oh, Lord.
Every time I open the paper, I see a picture of you, Ryan.
Well, I'm not very photogenic, so I don't know what to say.
No, you're doing well. You're very much involved, and that's good.
Well, that's important. I think as a superintendent, you need to be visible and out in our schools and meeting with our community members and families. I think it's an important part of being a leader.
I agree.
Thank you.
And when you say you're not very photogenic, you bring somebody with you that makes you that way.
That's exactly right.
There's
exactly right.
method to your madness.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, you guys had some awards. You're coming down to your final month of school here, so there's some awards been handed out. Do you want to touch on some of those?
Yeah. So we're really excited that as we sort of recap the school year, that we recognize some of the folks that make Berkeley County schools great. And so we just held a Teacher and Service Person of the Year award program where we recognized our finalists for each of those categories. So we had 4 finalists for Teacher of the Year, 4 finalists for Service Person of the Year, and then we also had a recognition for our new Teacher of the Year. So we were really excited about that. And of course, we have 2 people with us here today that exemplify what it means to be a high quality, high engaged, exemplary employee for Berkeley County Schools. And so I'm really excited to introduce our new Teacher of the Year, who I have with me here. And we also have our Service Person of the Year, who's on the line. But Lakyn Byers is our new Teacher of the Year, and so I was excited to have her join me today.
Lakyn, good morning. Congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
New Teacher of the Year. Does this mean first year teaching in the schools?
Yes. So last year I was a permanent sub, a first grade permanent sub at Berkeley Heights. This year is my first year certified, and I'm in second grade this year. Second grade.
Very nice. And it turns out that your father is someone who's also been on the radio in the past.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, he was.
Get a shot out of it. Yeah, Brenton Byers. He played football at Martinsburg High School.
Yep. A little while ago, but yeah.
Yeah. You'll tell him I said hello.
Rob's been around for a long while.
35 years in working in Martinsburg. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So
I've covered a few people's parents at this point in my life, and when you get to their kids and then they have grandkids, it's a 3-generation right there.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, awesome.
Well, tell me about your journey into Berkeley County schools here as a full-time teacher.
Yeah, so I actually graduated from Martinsburg High School in 2018. I decided to go to Shepherd University for elementary education in the fall of 2018. I loved that. It was a great experience until COVID hit. I decided to change my major completely. I changed it to nutrition and dietetics, completely different avenue. I ended up getting my Bachelor of Science in 2023. And then I realized that you have to have a master's degree to be a registered dietitian in West Virginia. So while I was in the process of figuring that out, I was like, let's just try to be a permanent sub for a year while I get my master's, figure it out. And the moment that I went in there, I was like, this is where I should have stayed. I knew that that's where I belonged. So definitely took the wrong avenue that way, but I learned quickly and ended up getting my alternative certification.
Oh, you're what, 23?
I am 24. I'll be 25 in July.
24. So it's kind of early in life. It's all right if
Yeah.
you didn't,
I'm glad I
lose your
decided
way.
then. Yeah,
Yeah, you're okay. And you're at Berkeley Heights?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about some of your kids and the grades that you teach and
Yeah.
what your day is like.
So I didn't realize how much of a difference first grade and second grade would make. I thought, it's only, a year difference. It shouldn't be too much. But there's a big change.
Sure.
I definitely, in my opinion, think second grade is kind of the sweet spot. I'm not tying as many shoes. I'm not saying, hey, let's go get a tissue. They're a little bit more independent. But also academically, I think that they've learned so much in just that short amount of time. And my group this year is amazing. I'm going to be so sad to see them leave, but I'm excited for them to keep growing. It's going to be amazing for them.
Dr. Saxe, this is something that you've got to be excited about because you get a young teacher right out of Shepherd. It couldn't work any better that way because you're talking about a local homegrown product who wants to stay here. And when she talks about education, she's got a twinkle in her eye, a little sparkle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you can't listen to her and not be inspired and be excited for any child to be able to have her as a teacher. But to think about, obviously she set her path on education to start with, and because of whatever, thoughts she had, she decided to go in a different direction. And I think that's a challenge for us when we think about recruiting people to the field of education is that, they may have explored a different path and they don't know if, hey, can I actually go in and do this? And so she actually went through a non-traditional path to gaining her certificate to teach. And I think we were talking, you were able to do that in like 6 months.
Yeah, I did it pretty fast. And I also had a newborn.
Yes.
And so,
I did.
I think that it speaks to the fact that, we have opportunities for people to enter the teaching field and to find their passion because it's a very rewarding career. And so I think that in addition, Miss Byers was able to be selected by all of our mentor teachers that are out there. So they were able to see this special characteristic that she has in providing a high quality education for these youngsters. And so I as a superintendent, I'm inspired.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We'll come back to Lakyn in a second. We want to bring on Curtis Hite now. If you could tell us about Curtis Hite and his award, Dr. Saxe.
Yeah, so Curtis Hite is a custodian at Hedgesville Elementary School, longtime veteran of Berkeley County Schools. And, one of the things that resonated with me about Mr. Hite is that his calling is more than just being able to provide that extra support to the school. He builds relationships with students, and in some of the testimonials that students gave for him, it was very clear the impact that he's making on the school community and the staff, the students, the families. What a blessing it is to have Curtis Hite here in Berkeley County Schools.
Curtis, good morning. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations to you.
Well, thank you. Good morning to you too.
Yes.
And Mr. Saxe, and new teacher of the year too.
What does this award and recognition mean to you, Curtis?
It's a very, very high honor for me to accept this award. And I started in 1988 or 1980. I'm sorry, and then I left and went into the service, Navy veteran, and come out of the service, and then went into I go back into Berkeley County Schools again to build those relationships with the students and all. And it does give you a very strong impact on the kids today. I've always had people back up to me and say, hey, I remember you as a custodian. Just the things that you do could be real trivial, really small, but that's what they remember me the most at.
That's great, Curtis. Congratulations. And as a Navy guy, I'm going to go to another Navy guy, and Bill Stubblefield, for the next question. Bill.
Us Navy guys got to hold together, Curtis. Well done. Congratulations on your
That's
service.
correct. Yep. Anchors away.
Anchors away, exactly right. Two very impressive individuals, Dr. Saxe. Speak to us, if you will, for just a couple of minutes, the process of how someone is nominated and the process that they go through to actually be eventually recognized.
Yeah, so the candidates that we have to select from are nominated by their school principal and their school faculty senates. So these are peer recognitions that see what it is that these individuals are doing every day and making a huge impact on students and the school community. And so to know, I think, that these nominations come from within is very special. Once we have the nominees, we have a selection committee that is made up of individuals both from the district level, but we have a board member representative, and then we also this year have included a representative from some of our local businesses. This year was the first year that we solicited sponsors for our program, which enabled us to be able to provide monetary awards to the finalists. So each finalist was able to receive $500, and then the actual winners received $1,000. And that was, again, thanks to our sponsors that stepped up and wanted to be a key partner in education to recognize these individuals. And so they had a seat at the table also to be able to help select the actual winner. And so, of course, once we have the finalists selected, we go out and we recognize them at their schools, and we call it the prize patrol. We sort of, we want the school to be involved in saying, hey, and recognizing that they're a finalist. And then from there, they have an application that they fill out that further delves into the characteristics of them as an employee of Berkeley County Schools. And of course, the finalist, the actual winner, Mr. Hite, and the winner of our Teacher of the Year, Miss McDonald, who will be here at a later time, they go on to represent Berkeley County Schools at the state level for the State Teacher of the Year and the State Service Person of the Year.
Thank you.
All right, now to the U.S. Marine Corps and Mr. Bill Kearns.
So, Curtis, I've actually had the honor of knowing for a large number of years, we're a few years apart, but he's been an asset to the school board and Hedgesville Elementary, but Curtis also, a lot of people don't know, he's kind of like that silent person in the background that accomplishes a lot and doesn't look out for credit for it, and so he's well known within the community in the town of Hedgesville and lifelong resident there, and working in the town, and then his wife do animal rescues, and so Curtis, well done. Congratulations on that, and I know it's an honor for you, and certainly you take that as a great achievement in your life. So good job. But Lakyn, I have a question for you.
Making a comment out of Curtis from the nice things you said about him first. Bill, go right ahead, Curtis.
Thank you very much, Bill. And I know Bill does a good bit around the community too, making sure our schools are up to date on our on the inspections and all that, and we try to do the best we can. And I thank all of you at the radio station.
Thank you, sir.
So, as a second grade teacher, and I see the enthusiasm in your eyes when you're talking about, and the love, because you got to love working with that age group, and so I could see that, and you were excited about. What do you find as a challenge?
So, especially being a first-year teacher, classroom management is a huge challenge. I think being in the classroom is the best way to learn. And with me being out of the classroom for so long, I definitely was not expecting some things when it comes to behavior or even just socially, this age group, things that they like. I'm definitely out of the loop with things their age. So I am. So making sure I have different ways of dealing with different situations in the classroom, and even learning from last year to this year, what worked for my class last year is not going to work for this year, and it might not work for next year, but learning to adapt to what the kids are going to respond well to is definitely a challenge, but I'm definitely learning how to cope with that.
And being a second grade teacher, the hardest part has to be, I know you said you're going to hate to see the kids leave this year, and it's sad, but you're making an impact on their lives. And the hardest part's got to be for you to remember all these kids as they get older and older and on down the road, because lots of us still remember our second grade teachers and think very fondly of them, and lots of great memories. And it's like, how do you remember who I am? And this might be 30 or 40 years down the road.
Yeah. I know they say to me all the time, Miss Byers, I can't wait to see you at Target. I'm like, I can't wait to see you at Target. I'll definitely say hi to you. But making sure that I leave an impact on them too is a big thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Well, being recognized to Teacher of the Year is quite impressive, but there's another aspect as well. This is only your second year in teaching and your first year in second grade. So that meant you really stood out at such a young age, at a very early stage. How surprised was that to you, Dr. Saxe, is someone so young, so...
remember,
so
she's
new?
new teacher of the year.
Teacher of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the second time today. I've missed something. I missed the new teacher here. Sorry about that.
New teacher.
Okay.
But I think it speaks volumes. And, and we're very proud of her. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Curtis, I want to go back to you for a moment there. How did you end up getting started at Berkeley County's schools? And then, as you said, you went into the service, but then you came back. Tell me the story.
Yeah. So after graduation, you always have a thing, where should I fit in at? I'm an old farm boy, and of course my grandfather passed at an early age, and they had to sell the farm, do things like that. After high school, then I went to work at Centennial Fruit back in the 70s, and worked there and got my my national farmer's degree in ag management, and with the help of Mr. Porterfield and all of them out there, they see me through that. And then I thought, well, I'd kind of like to get into the school system. And my aunt said, why don't you go up and talk to Mr. Greenfield up at the middle school? He might have a job for you. And that's when you could actually go to the principals and get hired on or get submitted on, and then go to Berkeley County Schools to fill out your application and so forth. So then I got called to North Middle, 1980. I don't know why I'm saying 88, but 1980 in August, worked with Mr. Cox and all of them as a first-time custodian, midnight shift from 11 at night to 7 in the morning. And then, so I did that for about 5 years, and my dad kept on getting on to me about, my sister went to service, and she's seen all these nice things overseas, and I thought, well, maybe I ought to try that myself too. I was 25 at the time, and that's what I did. I took the test, and I was machinist mate, first class, going into the service. Then I did my 4 years over in the Mid-Dream, and come back and in the shipyards, and did all that, and come back out, and thought, well, maybe I'll go back to the school system. So I went and seen Ms. Richardson at the board office, and she said, yeah, Curtis, we still have you in the system, and I never left. She said, but you have to go on the sub list. Did that. Went to Musselman High School, Musselman Middle, Jarrettstown Elementary, working as a sub for a while, and then I got called for Martinsburg High School for a 3 to 11 shift, and got on there permanent, and then kind of shifted around to Tomahawk when it came open in 1993. Been there since 2000, and then when the Y2K hit,
oh yeah,
which I don't know if a lot of people remembers that.
Oh yeah.
Then I come down to Hedgeville Elementary. There's an opening there. It was a little closer to home, but about a half mile closer. But I stayed here ever since. And I kind of grew up in Hedgeville Elementary School since the 60s. Went to school here, and like I said, the first teacher that I remember was Ms. Cole at the time.
You know her, Bill?
do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still living today. Hope she's listening to the radio. She was my first grade teacher and made an impact on me. So that it all comes around sooner or later. And so you asked the question of how are you going to recognize them in about 35, 40 years from now. It'll all come back to you. I'm just telling you. People come up to me all the time, 25, 30 years ago, and say, you're the best custodian I've had, and I can do things with me. I listen to them. I tie their shoes. I just help them out. Just real kind to them. And that makes a huge, huge impact on children today.
That's amazing stuff.
And the parents. Actually, I have parents, grandparents, parents, and now their children. So it's 3 generations.
Now, are you related to that Mike Hite guy?
I'm related to all the Hites in the Berkeley County area. Our generation is back 200 years.
That's great.
So, Dr. Saxe, I know you're fairly new to our area and new superintendent here. Tell me how it feels to have such great staff working for you that have received these honors.
Well, as I have said several times, one of the things that I've learned over the last 8 to 9, well, almost, my gosh, it's almost been 12 months I've been here. So, but over the time I've been here, is the best part of this school system is our people. They make a profound difference in our students, and I consider myself tremendously blessed to be a part of this team, and to be part of something that is, providing a world-class education and experience for all of our students, and it's because of our people, and so I couldn't be more excited and more thankful for what we have. When we were talking, obviously, you have quite a number more years left, and
you're talking to Lakyn there,
Lakyn,
for
yeah,
a radio audience, and
Mr. Hite, is given a tremendous amount of service to the school district. As an educational employee, you never know the difference that you're going to make for students, and sometimes you don't recognize the difference that you've made in a child's life until years and years later, and so it's profound. And so we're very, very blessed in Berkeley County Schools. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, I know we're going to be recognizing our Teacher of the Year, Miss Emily McDonald, who is a Hedgesville Middle School science teacher. And we're also recognizing very shortly Jamie Laidlow, who is our Counselor of the Year, who will also be going on to the state for recognition. So, again, this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for some amazing people that really made sure that we could recognize these people well. I'd like to really quickly thank, though, United Bank, McKinley Architecture, Berkeley County Schools Credit Union, and Bowles-Rice attorneys, who were our major sponsors this year and made the monetary awards possible. So,
oh, very nice. Congratulations to all of you. And Curtis, by the way, Jackie Long from the Board of Education, the president, she said that she remembers you. She hired you. And Brad Knoll said he knows you and remembers you, and you're a good guy.
Yeah. Actually, Jackie Long, she was a secretary out in North Middle. The day I come in there, she helped me tremendously to show me around and make sure I did everything adequately and throw my time sheets in on time with her. She'll get a chuckle out of that. I'm always usually late on those things. But
thanks.
I thank all of you guys, all Berkeley County, and all the teachers in Berkeley County, staff, custodians, maintenance people, bus drivers. Everybody makes a tremendous impact on our children today.
Good words there, Curtis. Thank you, and thank you for all you do and all you've done.
Now, Rob, I want to make sure you know that another shout out goes to your colleague Rick Rohn, who was our master of ceremonies.
Very nice.
And so maybe next time we can get you to come up there with him and
Stacy's husband. Yeah, Rick's the man.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey,
you did a great job.
Thank you, Dr. Saxe. Lakyn, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back with more on the program after these.